Have you ever thought about this? What if getting old wasn't a one-way street? What if you could actually hit a reset button? Well, today, we're going to dive into some absolutely radical science that is turning everything we thought we knew about aging completely on its head. And it all starts with this one powerful idea from Dr. David Sinclair at Harvard. He says, "I reject the idea that aging just because it's natural is acceptable." I mean, wow, that one sentence, it's the spark for a whole revolution. It basically challenges this thing we've all been told our entire lives, that getting old and declining is just inevitable. So let me ask you this. What if, deep inside every single one of your cells, there was a backup copy of your youth? Like the original blueprint just waiting to be reinstalled? I know it sounds like something straight out of a movie, but believe it or not, this is quickly becoming scientific reality.
All right, so to really get our heads around this, we've got to start with a huge shift in how we even think about aging. This is section 1, and we're talking about why aging is not inevitable. You see, for centuries, the old view was that aging is just wear and tear. It's natural, it's irreversible, you just deal with it. But the new view? It's a total game changer. It says that aging is actually a disease. And if it's a disease, that means it can be slowed down, stopped, and maybe even reversed. Think about that. Instead of just treating the symptoms of aging, like cancer or Alzheimer's, we could go after the root cause of them all, aging itself.
And the guy right at the forefront of this whole movement is Dr. David Sinclair. We're talking about a Harvard professor who has poured 30 years of his life into this research. So this isn't some pie-in-the-sky idea anymore. He has taken it from a wild theory and turned it into something he can actually prove and repeat right there in his lab. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how in the world does this actually work? Well, it comes down to something called the scratched record theory. The main idea here is to stop thinking about your body as hardware that's just breaking down and decaying. Instead, think of it like a computer that's running on corrupted software. This is the core concept right here, the information theory of aging. It says that the problem isn't our DNA. Our core genetic code, that stuff is actually pretty solid. It stays mostly intact. The real problem is the system that reads the DNA. It's called the epigenome, and its job is to tell each cell what it's supposed to be and what it's supposed to do. And this is where the scratched record analogy comes in, and it's honestly brilliant. Just imagine your DNA, your genome, is the music on a perfect digital record. The songs are all there, flawless. But the epigenome, that's the record player. And over time, that player gets scratched and dusty. And a scratched record player, well, it can't play the music right, can it? The music's still there, but you can't hear it properly. So how does the record get scratched in the first place? Well, believe it or not, our DNA breaks thousands of times a day. Little things like sunlight, X-rays, even just normal cell stuff causes these breaks. Now, when that happens, a special repair crew of proteins rushes in to fix the damage. But here's the catch. These proteins normally control the epigenome, so they get distracted from their main job. And after they're done with the repair, they don't always go back to exactly where they started. It's a bit of a faulty reset. Do that over and over again for decades, and the cells start to get confused. They forget their identity. A skin cell might start acting a little like a kidney cell, and that, right there, is the process of aging. But, and this is the part that changes everything, it turns out that a backup copy of the original youthful information still exists inside every single cell. It's not gone. It's like the original master recording of that record is still tucked away, safe in a vault. And the most incredible part? Scientists are now figuring out how to access that backup copy. So we've got the theory, which is mind-blowing enough. But what happens when you actually put it into practice? Well, let's look at some of the truly jaw-dropping results that are happening in the lab right now. Okay, get this. Scientists have found a specific cocktail of 3 genes that basically act as a software reinstall button for our cells. When they trigger these genes, it tells the cell, hey, go find that backup copy of the youthful instructions and reboot. It's like polishing the scratches right off the record. And the results, I mean, they're just staggering. They took old mice, we're talking the equivalent of an 80-year-old person, and gave them this treatment. What happened? It didn't just add a little time. It gave them 100% extension of their remaining lifespan. To put that in human terms, it's like an 80-year-old who might have 5 years left suddenly gets 10 more healthy years. It's literally doubling the rest of their life. And you have to understand, this isn't just about living longer. It's about living younger. The results in animals are just incredible.
They've cured blindness in mice and monkeys, they've rejuvenated aged skin, repaired damaged nerves, and restored organs to youthful function. They've even reversed age-related cognitive decline. It's like the diseases of aging just evaporate when you tell the body to be young again.
And here's the really crucial part. This isn't just about mice anymore. After these incredible successes, especially with curing blindness in monkeys, the very first human trials are now underway. This is it. This is the moment it makes the leap from the lab to us.
Okay, so this is all amazing stuff, but those therapies are still a few years away. So while we wait for that biological reset button, what can you do right now? If we know what scratches the record, how can we protect it? Well, it turns out you have a ton of control. And this is probably the best news you'll hear all day. Look at this. Only about 20% of your aging rate is locked in by your genetics. The other 80%? That's your lifestyle and your environment. 80%. That means your DNA isn't your destiny. You are in the driver's seat. And the choices we make are pretty clear. On one side, you've got the aging accelerators. Things like smoking, ultra-processed foods, too much alcohol. These are the things that cause more DNA breaks, distract our repair crews, and scratch up that epigenetic record faster. But on the other side, you've got the longevity boosters. Intermittent fasting, a plant-focused diet, high-intensity exercise. These are the things that protect our DNA, support those repair crews, and keep that music playing clearly for a long, long time.
So what are the top recommendations from Dr. Sinclair himself? He boils it down to 3 key things. Number 1, eat less often. Just skipping a meal can activate your body's built-in defense pathways. Number 2, exercise, but specifically get out of breath. High-intensity workouts are a huge signal for your body to clean up old, junky cells. And number 3, and this one's cool, eat stressed plants. You know, colorful vegetables and fruits. They contain molecules that basically mimic adversity, and when you eat them, it activates your own body's longevity genes. All right, for our last section, let's zoom way out, because the implications of this research go way beyond just our own personal health. This could literally reshape our entire society. Just look at the pace of this stuff. In 1903, humans flew for the first time. Just 66 years later, we walked on the moon. The 20th century was really the century of physics. Well, it's looking like the 21st century is going to be the century of biology. And reversing aging, that could very well be our generation's moonshot. And that leaves us with this one truly profound question to think about. What does our world look like when you can combine the wisdom of an 80-year-old with the physical health of a 30-year-old? I mean, just imagine a brilliant surgeon with 50 years of experience who still has the steady hands of a young doctor, or a climate scientist with a lifetime of knowledge and another 40 years of healthy, focused energy to solve our biggest problems. The potential for creativity, for progress, it would be absolutely transformative. You know, it's funny. As we explore all this science about resetting our corrupted biological information, maybe it's a good reminder of the other kinds of resets we can do. A biological reset might be on the horizon, but the power to reset our own minds, to clear out the old information of our past, well, that's something we can all do right now.